The Lord be with you. Dear pilgrims of hope, the word of God takes us to a dusty, sun-drenched place in Mamre, where Abraham sits at the entrance of his tent. It is the heat of the day, perhaps the least likely time to receive guests, and yet heaven touches earth in this moment of apparent stillness and simplicity. In Genesis chapter 18, Abraham, our father in faith, without knowing who they were, runs to meet three mysterious figures, bows down low and insists they come into his tent and rest. He washed their feet, brought water, and hurried off to fetch bread, butter, and a roasted calf to feed them. Think about Abraham and his actions. He did not know who these strangers were. Perhaps they were hungry or weary or in need of kindness, but he did not pass them by. Even though he had no children and the promise that he would be the father of a multitude of nations was not yet fulfilled, Abraham offered shelter and the best of what he had. He immediately put strangers' needs ahead of his comfort, showing hospitality. His heart is turned not toward his own needs, but toward the needs of the other. And it is in this sacred exchange of hospitality where Abraham looks beyond his needs that the most unexpected and life-changing blessing is given. The promise that Sarah, though aged and barren, will bear a son. Abraham's hospitality becomes the channel through which the long-awaited promise is renewed. His reward came in the form of a promise. The Lord said to Abraham, "Is anything too marvelous for the Lord to do? At the appointed time, about this time next year, I will return to you, and Sarah will have a son." In welcoming and serving mysterious passers-by, Abraham was unknowingly welcoming and entertaining God himself. Brothers and sisters, our faith journey calls us to welcome others with open arms and generous heart, despite our many needs. Abraham surprises us by going out of his way to serve some wayfarers, challenging us to look beyond our needs and embrace God's eternal promises and blessings. When we look beyond our needs and treat the people we do not know with respect and generosity, we may be entertaining angels and even encountering God in disguise. Abraham's faith led him to extend kindness despite his needs without knowing why. We might feel hurt or disappointed when our prayers seem unanswered or when we think our trust in God has gone unnoticed. Abraham shows us another way to look beyond your inconveniences. We can also look beyond our need for recognition and acknowledge the God who gives us the grace to be faithful to Him even in times of adversity. We can open our heart in hospitality, saying with Abraham, "Do not pass us by, Lord. Let us serve you among the hungry, the lonely, the stranger." Abraham did not open his tent to the strangers because he had surplus. He welcomed them out of a heart formed by trust and reverence for God. His tent was temporary, his land not yet wholly his, and his family line still uncertain. And yet, his first instinct was not self-protection, caution, or unmet needs. It was generosity. There is a hidden blessing in every act of sacrificial service. By blessing another, we indirectly invoke a blessing upon ourselves. Abraham teaches us that it is in giving of what we have now, however modest, that God meets us and multiplies our blessings. When we shift our gaze from our needs and turn to service, we unlock the mystery of divine generosity. We might not welcome travelers into desert tent, but we do meet people on the road of life. Maybe it is a new coworker who feels lonely, an elderly neighbor needing a helping hand, or a stranger at our door asking for help. Is there someone you are passing by who needs kindness, a smile, or even a listening ear? What if God is at your gate, disguised in need? Do not pull the door shut on those who come knocking. No matter your lack, imagine a stranger on your front lawn, thirsty and neglected, and you kneel to give him a drink of water. Or perhaps a homeless person sits on the street asking for help, and even if you hesitate, you break the routine and offer a sandwich or a kind word. In simple acts like this, we follow Abraham by welcoming the stranger. Abraham reminds us that Christ walks among us in those we serve. Jesus Christ, who is truly present at our Eucharistic table, offering us himself in word and sacrament, also walks with us outside the doors of the liturgical assembly, in our families, at work, and on our street, guiding us to look beyond our immediate comfort and needs, trusting that in giving we receive, and in looking beyond our needs to cater for others, we are blessed. So do not be weary of being grateful and hopeful. When we cultivate gratitude, not just for what we hope to receive, but for what we already have, our hearts are transformed. We begin to see the small daily graces, the breath in our lungs, the embrace of a loved one, the greetings of a loving neighbor, the Eucharist that nourishes us. Gratitude opens our eyes to what is already ours, and hope reassures us that God does not disappoint. Dear friends, be attentive. When God's promise works beneath the surface of our doubt, faith gives us the lens through which we see that God's blessings were already in motion even before the fulfillment of divine promises, like Sarah, who laughs, not a laugh of joy, but of disbelief, saying, "Shall I indeed bear a son now that I am old?" We too may grow weary of waiting in blessed hope and faith for the fulfillment of God's promises. We live in fast times with calendars filled with meetings, text messages to reply to, emails to answer, and errands to run. We have family needs, bills to pay, chores, and health concerns to take care of. In all this, we could easily be drowned in our worries or pulled away by fear, despair, or anxiety. We are often too busy or cautious to open our doors to the unknown. We might worry, what does this person want? Or, I don't have time. Blessings often come disguised as interruptions. A phone call from someone in need, a stranger who crosses our path, a child's cry at night. But if we allow ourselves to be interrupted beyond our burdens or needs, we see ordinary interruptions as invitations to participate in God's grace. How often, beloved, do we think, when God fulfills the promise he made to me, then I will be kind to others. When I have more, then I will give. When I have less stress, then I will pray. When I feel better, then I will help others. Many of us live in constant spiritual poverty, not because we lack material things, but because we are often blinded by our immediate needs, fear, and desperation. Ask yourself, am I more aware of what I lack or of what I have been given? The Lord calls us as he called Abraham to lift up our eyes. Look around. Someone near you needs your presence. Look beyond. There is more to life than your present worry. Look above, for God is faithful and his promises never fail. So do something with what you already have while awaiting the fulfillment of God's promises in your life. Open the tent of your heart to others. When it is inconvenient, serve with joy even when you are uncertain. Trust in the promises of God even when they seem delayed. It is when we look beyond our needs that we discover the blessings already around us, and we become like Abraham, a blessing to others. As you go forth this week, look beyond your needs. See your blessings and not your burdens. May you be filled with the spirit of gratitude and generosity, that you may become a living witness of God's love. God bless you.